Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening to me. Welcome to another episode of Wealth Building Conference. Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you so much for joining. This is the first episode of our Wealth Building Conference in 2026, and I want to assure you today that today's program is going to be value packed. You will have value for your time. I want to really appreciate everyone that have been joining us since last year that we started. I really want to appreciate your time, really value your time, right? I want to say thank you so much for being part of the program, for support us, for encouraging us. We really, really, really appreciate you. Again, we also want to encourage you that starting 2026, right, we will be having this program just as we usually have that in 2025. So usually every Friday and Saturday we do have a live session from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. EST. So, and all across the world, we are streaming across all the platform on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. So we are streaming on those platforms. So please try as much as possible to share to people who are looking to learn as much as they want, especially financial freedom, and people that are also looking to build wealth. So, wherever you are joining from, I want you to please do me a favor by type your name and where you are joining from. If you are joining from Canada, just want to connect with you. Type your name and type Canada. And if you are joining from any part of the world, please ensure that you put your name and where you're joining from. And of course, today's program is going to be engaging. We want to make sure that I don't just want to come here and talk. We want to make sure that if you have any question, please drop on the comment section. We'll answer your question as soon as we finish the program. So as we continue the program, once I see the questions, I will answer your question. And of course, today's episode is going to be amazing topic. So many of us, I've seen a lot of people in this part of the world, they are hustling, and they think that hustle will actually make them to build wealth. But the truth of the matter is that hustle is just, also cannot really help you to build wealth. It is the strategies that will help you to build wealth. And I'm going to be sharing practical stories about myself, how I've been able to transform from being surviving, from struggling immigrant, to building wealth. I will show you the strategies and what really helped me to build wealth. So once again, welcome back. I'm going to quickly pull up my slide and we go straight to the presentation. So tonight's topic is going to be Beyond Hustling and Surviving, a live clarity session for Canadian immigrants ready to build real wealth. Okay. I'm going to be sharing my story here today. All right. So this is it, right? Hard work is not a problem. It is the lack of the structure. Now, how many of us believe that, what they taught us to do in this part of the world is to work, work, work. Many people believe that the way to make build wealth is to work hard, right? The way to build wealth is to do 9 to 5, do multiple jobs, have a lot of money. This is the normal practice in this part of the world, right? And that is what the government and the system is designed, for us. You come here, you start working 2, 3 jobs, and at the end of the day, you realize that, oh, I'm just working, like nothing to show for it. So multiple jobs, long hours, endless sacrifice. That is what many of us are going through, including myself. I remember when I came to this country as a refugee in 2017, right? My thought then was working multiple jobs will build wealth for me, right? Taking more hours at work will help me to build wealth. But the reality is this, right? No savings, no asset, no plan. Like, I used to work 2 jobs at that time, right? 3 jobs. I would do call center job in the morning, in the night. I will have to do Uber, right? And of course, I have to also try other means of surviving jobs. So imagine, right, doing 2, 3 jobs, and yet I don't have a single savings, because before the month runs out, like, the bill will have been piled up. So as I'm collecting the check, right, what will take the money is at the other end. So as I'm collecting the check from this side and the bill is taking the money from the other side. The truth is, also without structure is exhausting without legacy. If you are just thinking that it is my hustle that will help me to build wealth, trust me, you are deceiving yourself, right? And I've seen that in many, many occasions. So we need to hustle. Hey, guy, you need to hustle in this country. Of course, you need to hustle. But the thing is this, right? Hustle can never, never help you to build wealth, right? Hustle will actually make you to put you on a, on a run. Every day you have to go to work, do 9 to 5, get your paycheck, and pay the bills. You don't need to work harder. You just need a smarter systems. And I'm going to share that with you today. This is the survival mode that keeps you stuck, right? If you agree with me, please put on the comments chat that I agree. So how many of us believe that as you are getting your paycheck, you have the bill that is waiting for you to be paid, right? It happens to me. I'm telling you my real story, okay? As I'm collecting my check, right, it's bill. You have to pay your rent, you have to pay your mortgage, you have to pay your phone bill, you have to pay your credit card debt, you have to pay all form of debt. And I remember at that time, right, because of lack of financial education, I incurred $57,000 debt, right? And this is what the system is actually designed for. The system is designed to profit the bank, not you. So as you are getting your money, okay, as you're getting your money, once you enter the country, what they will welcome you with, come and take credit card, come and take line of credit. So because why? That is where they are getting the money to, to keep the bank rolling. So as I'm getting my paycheck, I have to pay the bills, right? I have to pay the debt because I was on debt at that time, right? And I will now begin to repeat the cycle. And you see, if you go to Walmart today and you see people working at age 70, 80, this is the reason why they are working at age 70, 80. Because why? The system has actually kept them on survival mode. And that is what is happening to a lot of us today. We are just surviving. No, you have to hustle. Fine, you need to hustle. How many of you, since you've been hustling, how much have you saved? How many wealth have you actually built since you have been hustling? But you know what? The university, the college that we all go to, we never taught all of this, right? And this is what is actually lacking among the immigrants in Canada and other parts of the world. The system here in Canada is what is happening in the United Kingdom, is what is happening in US, is what is happening in Australia, every part of the world. Why? Because the system has actually keep you in a survival mode. No margin for error. So one illness, one accident, one job change, one job loss change everything. You know what? I have seen people working so hard and one critical illness, one sudden accident just wipe out your savings. It happens. Like during December, right? I read a news about a Ghanaian, an African that dead in the vehicle. Why? Because of the stress. Because of people are going through a lot in this country. And this is because of the fact that there is no information for us to see what we can do differently to change our life. And I'm going to be sharing that with you today. Okay, how they keep you alive but not free. Many, many people are hustling today. They are just living, but they are not free. They are not financially free. They don't have that financial independence. All they know is just to work, and work. And it's a lot in this country. It's a lot. What the wealthy do differently. Let me tell you this, right? The wealthy, okay, they guide what they earn. One thing that I want you to know, what is very common among the wealthy people is that they protect their income, right? From critical illness, from accident, from serious, it's because anything can happen at any time. Think about it, right? You are the one working, right? You are the one making the money. What happened if you cannot go to work? I used to ask people when I jump on a call, right? I will ask them, do you have family? Yes. Do you have children? Yes. Do you have wife? Right? Now, how much do you really care for your family? Sometimes I love my family so much. Now, do you have something in place that, have you ever think that if you go back, if you leave that house, you may not have an opportunity to come back to that house tomorrow? Now, if you don't have the opportunity to come back to that house tomorrow, how will your family survive? Someone is saying, no, God forbid. Of course, God has actually give you protection, right? The financial protection is your duty to make sure that you protect what you earn, protect your job from critical illness, from sudden accident, from job loss. There's so many strategies that you can put in place. Keep more of your money, right? Many of us believe that the more money, the more work you do, the more money you make. The answer is no, right? As a matter of fact, in this country, okay, the more money you make, the more tax you pay, right? And almost everything is tax, right? You pay tax on grocery, you pay tax on you pay tax on your salary, you pay tax on, if you have a business, you pay everything, you pay tax. Even when you make profit, you reinvest the profit, you make another profit, you still pay tax. So everything is taxed in this country. Now, how do you make sure that you live a life that you keep more of what you earn? Because why? What we're taught is, no, when we're told in this country, you have to work and work and work and work and save in RSP. When you retire, you start getting the money. That is what they tell us. But guess what? That is not the way to build wealth. That is not the way to live your life. It's just a surviving and hustling mode. You need to change the way you are living. Make money work for you. So the thing is this, the wealthy turn their expense into asset. Now they make their money work for them. Many of us, the problem is this: when you ask them, oh, have you started saving? Oh, no, I don't even have enough to save. Now, because why? Because the reason is this, right? You save after you've actually paid your bill. Wealthy people, they pay themselves first before they pay the bill. Now, let me ask you this question. Now, your tax, they deducted their tax before they give you your salary. Now, if it is not difficult for you to pay tax, why is it difficult for you to pay yourself? And this is my experience as well. When I came to this country, I don't have that experience. All I need, what they told me then was, oh, you need to work, you need to work, you need to work, you need to work harder, you need to do 2 to 3 jobs, right? Before you can pay your bill, before you can survive. And I realized that, if I take more hours, the taxes I pay on even the overtime is double of what I will pay if I just work normal regular hours. If you agree, please put it on the comment section. Now, I now realize that I need to make my money work harder for me. What do? I started saving. So when I get my paycheck, right, before I pay my bill, I'm the one making the money. I'll first pay myself before I start paying the bill. So if I've paid myself, whatever that remains, this one I have to plan to pay my rent, to pay my phone bill, to pay the debt and all of that. I know it's going to be, and see, if you plan it well, if you put it on auto, if you set it up auto debit, it makes easier for you to save. Many of us today, we don't save because you feel that you don't earn enough. Your problem is not that you don't earn enough. The problem is that you don't have a system in place. Think 20, 40 years, not 2 weeks. Many people believe that, oh, when I start saving today, right, 2 weeks from now, 3 months from now, I'll start. Investment is long term, not quickly. Wealth is built with strategies, not sweat. So if you are working and you feel that, oh, my sweat is what's going to be to, no, it is strategy. You have to make sure that you actually put enough system in place to make sure you build your. This is the 3 pillars of real wealth. Number 1, protection. Life insurance, critical illness, and disability insurance will guide your income. If you are working and you don't have protection in place, one illness, one accident can actually consume everything you've worked for years. I've seen people, right? They are healthy, they have everything, just one cancer. They get cancer and all they are saving wipe off. Why? Because when you have this when you have all this illness, you cannot make money and you need to live. You need to pay your rent. See, the problem is this: if you are sick, if you have an accident that render that person to be permanently disabled or partially disabled, right? Your bill will not stop. And we are living in a country of a bill, the reality is this, right? You have to pay the bills. The house you are living is on mortgage. So the person at the other end also want to pay their money. So you have to pay them. The phone bill that you are using, at the end of the month, you have to pay the staff that are working for them. So everything is on system. So you need to put a plan in place to make sure that my income is protected. Two, budgeting, tax planning, and system. Now, if you don't have a budget, right? If you don't have a budget, there is no way you can have financial discipline. And that financial intelligence starts from budgeting, right? How much am I making? Many of us might be saying, I'm not making so much. Not until you start making so much before you start having budgeting. You need to start doing that, right? And it is very simple. How much is coming in? How much is coming in every month, right? How much is going out, right? You need to allocate each of your income to specific things every single day, every single week, every single month. That is how you can build real wealth. In that way, you will be able to track all your money. Some of us are making so much money, but before you know what is happening, you don't even know what to use the money for. The problem is not because you are not making so. The problem is you don't have a budget in place. You don't have a plan in place. Again, tax planning. Now, let me tell you this, right? As an immigrant, I've understood one thing in this country, that the more assets you acquire, the more tax you are actually going to pay at the end of the day. If you are an immigrant, okay, you have an investment property. Let's say you are living in your house. Your first property is tax-free. Like if you start continue to buy house, some of us are really like, they love real estate. It's good. It's really, really, really good. But do you know that if you buy a house today, say for example, you buy a house of $500,000, 10 years from now, that house actually grow to about $1 million. The gains on that house, do you know you're going to pay tax on it? Yeah, you're going to pay tax on it. The gains is divided by 2, multiply the marginal tax rate. That's what the CRA will expect. If you want to sell the house, some of us have maybe 5 houses, 3, 4, 5, 10 houses that has a lot of equity on it, that if you sell them, it's going to attract a lot of capital gain taxes. And we are not planning for that. So you are acquiring asset, you're trying to build wealth for your children, but you're also creating another bigger problem, which is the taxes. Guys, we need to be wise, and you need to sit down and ask yourself, if I'm building wealth, in what way am I building a wealth? Am I not creating another problem for my children? There's what we call deemed disposition in Canada. Deemed dispositions means that any day you pass, okay, your asset to CRA is being deemed to be disposed. So as a matter of fact, if you worth about, let's say you start an investment, let's say your worth is $5 million, and you have a growth of about $5 million on that asset. So if you pass, okay, that $5 million is going to be divided by 2, multiplied by whatever tax, marginal tax rate. Nobody can tell me that I know the tax I'm going to pay in 10, 15 years from now. Nobody knows that. Is it not important for you to start planning for that? Again, how do you do that? You leverage on insurance, right? I was a refugee when I started my business in Canada. Like a lot of us, because of lack of information, right? Many people know, because I'm still a refugee, because I'm not a PR holder yet, I cannot start a business. So you can start a business. Leverage on insurance, start a business, right? Because why? Monetize your skills. Many of us have a skills already, like, we have a skill that we can actually build on. You don't need to go and start learning something like, go to college. No. Leverage on your skills and start using that to build wealth, and make sure that it's long term. So like I said, investment is long term. It's not something I'm going to make quickly. Why most immigrants never build wealth? No money, education. No one taught us money system. Now, one thing that I find very, very funny in this country is that as fantastic, very good this country is, nobody will teach you how money works. I met somebody today. I was presenting to him, and he said, "Look, I've been I'm trying to, I'm trying to explore the system to learn how money works. Say in my country, there are things like, we have a system there. Like we have, if plan A is not working, you have plan B. But in this country, everybody for themselves. Nobody's ready to tell you anything. And I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to study system to know what really works. The problem is this, right? Nobody will tell you. You have to find out, right? You have to explore. And I'm very, very sorry for so many immigrants that are all not open to information. You don't go out, you don't attend webinar, you don't attend seminars, anything they show, this one is too good to be true, it's a lie. Why would somebody? My God. And that is why you are struggling. The reason why you are struggling is because you are not open to learning. You are not open to information. Many of us believe that until we go to college, I'm not against you going to college. I'm not against you going to university, but that cannot give you financial freedom. As a matter of fact, right? Everything, so many. I was listening to Tony Robbins yesterday, and he said one thing that I very, very like, I was just like, wow. He said, look, my mentor, Jim Rohn, said, Tony, we are all equal in, by birth, but when it comes to building real wealth, we are not equal because it is, it is just based on the value you bring to the marketplace. That's very profound. Now, the question now is that what value will you want to bring to the market as an immigrant? Do you think it's because of your certificate? Do you think it's because of your degree? It's not about that. And he said, every year I make average of $7 billion. Tony Robbins. Now, my question is this. We are in the same economy, like people is in US, many people are in that country. Why people are complaining? Somebody are building real wealth. My question to you as an immigrant, what skills do you have that you want to bring to the marketplace that will make you to attract wealth? Because why? We are being paid based on the value we bring to the marketplace. But the question now is, what value would you want to bring to the marketplace? We were taught to work hard, not to build. What they told me when I landed in Canada is that, Oludare, you need to work so hard. As a matter of fact, somebody said, look, you cannot survive on one job. I said, why is that? So I need to work 2-3 jobs, and it is like that's what is happening in this country today. Many people are working 2-3-4 jobs, yet they are struggling. Let me ask you this question: if it is work that make people to be rich, all of us in this country will have been rich. If you agree, put it on the comment section. If working hard is what make people rich, all of us will have been rich. If it is education that make people to be wealthy, everybody must have been wealthy. But the reality is this: none of those things actually build wealth for you. Bank don't educate the profit from your ignorance. This, you know what? I sat down one day and I begin to analyze things, right? Now, you work, right? You get your salary, you get your paycheck, and you put it in the bank. Okay. You put your money in the bank. Okay. You go to the bank, right? That money you put in the bank give you 0.01%, right? You now go to that bank and you ask for credit card, and they give you credit card. Your money that you put in the bank, they use that one to give you credit card, and they give you 22%, 21% interest rate. Imagine that, guys. I want us to, this is the reality of what people are facing, and that is why they are struggling financially. That is why it is very difficult for them to build wealth. Like, imagine you save your money in the bank, right? That same money, bank give you 0.01%. They invest that money and use that money to give you credit card, and they are asking you to pay 21% on your credit. And you know what? Many people today, they are struggling with credit card debt. Like, they can never come out of it. Because what? The more they are getting, like every day I used to check my mails. If I check my mails, you see invitation from different company asking me to come and take credit, asking you to come and take credit card. They just want you to put you in debt. I am not against you. Like, it's good, because if you don't have all those things, you cannot still build your credit. But the reality is that when you are getting it, make sure you apply your senses. As a matter of fact, if you don't have any money in your saving, if any money you don't have, don't spend on your credit card. Because the credit card is not meant like, just to be tapping and be tapping. No, it's actually meant to be used and be repaid back so that you can use it to build your credit. No one show you tax strategies. Like, I shared that experience before, right? Many people are building wealth, but they don't ask, like, how much tax do I want to pay, right? And this country, it's not about how much you make, but how much you can save from taxes. Your money needs a job. Bills are not planned. Paying bill keep you stuck. Like, many people today, I've seen them, they are stuck because why? They are owing serious. I was on $57,000 debt when I came to this country, right? $57,000 debt, different credit card, owing different. So I know, I understand, I've been there. But and I know for sure when I started working, I know for sure that my 9 to 5 cannot pay this credit card debt. I know for real. And that was what I started exploring. And that's what actually led me to study, to start this business, which is financial services. Within 2 months, I was able to pay up my debt. So if you're struggling with debt today, I can feel the pains. I understand what you are going through. But you know what? If you're relying on 9 to 5, honestly speaking, you might not be able to come out of that debt. So you need something quickly to pay that debt. So if you are struggling, you can book a clarity call with me. I'll be more than happy to jump on the call to show you how I was able to pay off my $57,000 debt and start building real wealth. Saving without strategy is slow. Saving requires intention. Many of us are saving, but how are you saving? Are you really putting your money in a strategies that will give you real wealth? Many of us are putting our money in a checking account. As a matter of fact, right? You put your money in you're not getting enough value for your money. Put your money in a vehicle that will give you enough value. Investing without protection is risky. It's risky. Guide before you grow. Many people have seen that in many occasions, right? Oh, I need to invest. Fine, it is good. But you know what? The reason why you are investing is because you are healthy, you are making money. Now, what happened to you if you cannot make that money? So before you start investing, the first thing to do is to protect that your income. Because if you lose that job, if sickness happen, you cannot invest anything. But if you protect the job, you can still invest because why? You have something in place that will continue to give you income. Wealth require purpose. Give every dollar a mission. This comes to the point of budgeting. Like you need to allocate your money. Like what part of your money go to investment? What part of your money go to uh you know education plan? It all depends on what you really want. But the truth of the matter is that you must allocate, you must have a budget for everything. This is the shift from hustler to architect. Stop being a worker, become a builder. Trade time for money. Guys, this is what I learned that really changed my life, right? I know for real people exchange their time, you know, for money. But you know what? I don't, I really, really want to, people go to work, like they work 9 to 5 and they pay them. But you know what? I don't. You cannot really build your wealth through that. It's just about, I don't believe in that. What I do, I learn a skill and I monetize that skill and I turn that into making money. So I don't make money per hour, right? I make money based on the value that I bring to the marketplace. And that is what I really want to share with you today. You design a system. I have a system like in place where I coach immigrants to be financially free. And I have a lot of them that I've mentored in this country that are making 6 figures, 6 months, even 1 month. I'm saying this. Some people, oh, this is too good to be true. If it is good to be true, you can book a call with me and let me show you what is possible, right? Because what you don't know, right? And this is possible because I have a system to actually make them, guide them to make this money. I use tools, right? See, this is the way in the world of using different tools. We have different tools that you can actually leverage on. Example of that is AI. Oh my goodness. Everybody right now, if you don't embrace AI right now, trust me, over time, you're going to face out, right? So it is better for you to study, to sit down and learn, right? Think in decades. Like, don't ever start, this is not a quick way of making money. Many people, the reason why you are scam is because you are looking for a quick money. Many people, I've seen many people, oh, I lost money. You lost money because you are looking for a quick way of making money. Wealth is not built like that. It requires times. There's a time for you to plan, there's time for you to work, there's time for you to have it. So you need time. So anything that requires, oh, come and put this one in and get, you see, I don't do that. All right. There is a system. You have to go through some process before you start making the money. Right. This is my story from refugee to financial architect. Right. Many of you must have listened to me before in different, um, uh, webinar. But listen to me. I came to Canada in 2017 as a refugee with my family. And of course, what I've been saying is what they told me then, like you need to do 2, 3 jobs for you to survive. But I know for sure that I know there is a problem in the system. Like I cannot continue this way. I did I work as a call center agent for like 3 months when I wasn't satisfied. Like you are going to work and you'll be afraid because I remember those days when I used to pick the calls, right? Once I pick the call, the next thing is like, no, I need somebody that speak Canadian English. Can you please transfer me to somebody that needs? So I was not really like, I don't like what I was doing then. So I was looking for what to do. So somebody introduced, so you need to go and study, you need to go and study some certification. So I did business analysis training. I did project management training. I have a diploma in software test and quality assurance. But guess what? As I'm doing that, I'm acquiring more debt for myself. And by the time I finish those programs, right, I've acquired a lot of, because at that time too, right, we don't have papers. We went for hearing, we've been denying. We have to go back to Nigeria. But I told myself then was like, even if I'll be deported back to Nigeria, I need to make money, right? So what am I trying to say? Many of us are in this struggle today. Many of us are going through what I passed through in between 2017 and 2020. I know. But you know what? You are not alone, because of what happened to me then was lack of financial education, lack of information, right? Many people have been do very, very well in this country, but they don't have that information. They don't have that guide. They don't have somebody that will say, hey, this is what you need to do. Because what they told us that you have to go and do this before you can do this. And the more I do that, then the more I acquire so many. So I was in debt. I will make the money. The next thing is, as I'm making the money, I pay the debt, I pay taxes. So I felt, no, I can't continue this way until I learn the structure that paid off my debt. I started financial services business I started my business. I got licensed November 29, 2020, and I started my business in 2021, January. Within 2 months, I paid off $57,000 in debt. And I'm telling you the real stories. If you want to like learn more, or you can just book a call with me to come and share my strategies of how I paid off the debt. Because why? Some things, like for me, it is not just because I've been able to pay the debt, but I feel every day I'm sad because I've seen a lot of people fall into this problem, going that same problem, going to the debt, and from there they destroy their credit, and they cannot get anything. They cannot buy houses. They cannot get finance. So it's a problem for me. So I really want to ensure that this 2026, my mission is to liberate as many immigrants as possible from this bondage of paycheck to paycheck, right? Going from 9 to 5 to become a financial independent person. Like you can also be in your own house. You can also live your life, go to vacation without you even asking anybody for permission. And I build system, and I begin to create wealth, and I also start helping other people to create that same wealth, right? And I'm saying this with all passion, because why? I've helped a lot of immigrants today. Because if you don't, what you don't know, you don't know, right? I've said it earlier. Okay, we are being paid based on the value you bring to the marketplace. Because why? Because I have a skill, I monetize the skill, and that is why I've been able to share that with other people, and that is what is actually saving them, right? Now, I want to help other people to achieve that financial freedom. So if you are here today, if you are struggling with them, if you are on surviving, if you are on hustling mode, right? You are not meant to live that kind of life. You are meant to live your life in this country. And guess what? I started this business as a refugee. I'm saying this because why? Many of us, because of our limiting belief, because of what they told us, they have put her mind in a in a way that, oh, you cannot go beyond this. Guys, it's not supposed to be so, right? When it get to a certain stage in life, the color of your skin, okay, your background, your status will not matter again. I started as a refugee and I've been able to help other people. So I don't want to, like, because sometimes people will say, oh, why are you saying it's refugee? Why are you saying you are a refugee? Because I'm just telling you that your status has nothing to do with building wealth. Your status has nothing to do with success. It's just about your mindset. It's just about your limiting belief that is making you to get stuck, to be living on a surviving mode, to be living on a hustling mode, right? Now, I want you to know that you have to stop guessing. Know exactly where you stand. Many of us, we are deceiving ourselves. We have not really decided. This is 2026. Today is 16th of January 2026. Before you know what's happening, this year has almost come to an end. And the question is, do you have a plan? Many of us, right, as we are speaking, you don't have a plan. You don't even know what you want to do. There is no way you can build real wealth through that. You have to move from chaos to control. You have to stop reacting. Now, look, Tony Robbins said something that I want to also share with you today. He said, when you want to build wealth, one of the important things you must understand is pattern recognition. Because when you recognize pattern, when you recognize pattern, you are not reacting, right? Imagine that, hey, everybody know that this is winter period. You're supposed to buy your snow blower. You're supposed to buy your shovels and all of that. So you already plan ahead of that. But if you don't recognize the pattern and season, it's going to be very difficult for you to build wealth. Many of us don't do that. We're just living. We don't recognize. So, and that's why a lot of people, they are reacting to issues. And you see them, some of them will throw angers, unnecessary, some people are depressed because why? They are not fully prepared because they don't understand pattern. They don't understand season. If you don't understand all of this, there's no way you can build wealth. And you start, once you know that, once you understand pattern, you can plan and you can build a roadmap. How much do I want to save? Many of us are delaying savings. Oh, no, I can't start right now. I'm still struggling. Okay, continue. Do you know that in Canada today, if you retire working for 20 years, the average pension is $803. They've just increased it in 2026. The maximum is $1,500. And that's why you see people working at old age. So you have to start planning right now. You have to start. If you don't start, you pay dearly for it. And let me tell you, retirement is very expensive. It's extremely expensive. So you have to be very intentional. Now, transform your relationship with wealth. Your network is your net worth, right? I used to say this many times. If you are in a cycle, if you have a friend, okay, if you are in a cycle and that cycle does not influence you, you are in a cell, right? See, your relationship, if you have friends, if all of them are broke, forget you, you are also going to be broke. So choose your friends wise. Choose your relationship. Any relationship that will not add value to your life, there's no worth keeping such a relationship. It's just the honest truth, and it's very hard, but that's the honest truth. Many of us are saying, no, if I do this, what will you say? The reality is that they cannot pay your bills. You have to build relationship. One connection can actually transform your life completely. Understand your next move. Get clear direction. See, when you know where you are going, it is easier for you to plan quickly. Okay, this is your next step. Stop hustling blindly. Stop hustling. Hustling cannot really build wealth for you, right? Hustling cannot build wealth for you. Start building intentionally, right? Start saving, start planning. Go back and sit down, draw your roadmap for 2026. And if you are struggling, if you don't you are lost, you don't know what to do, book a clarity session with me. And I'm going to show you the real plan of how I've been helping other people and build a real future. Beyond hustling and surviving, okay, this is what happened to me, right? When I came to this country, I stopped hustling at some point and I started, I put the structures in place, okay? And I put up a strategies in place as well, which actually helped me to move from survival to structure. All right. So if I could move from $57,000 in debt to start building wealth today, so you can. Your future doesn't change because you work harder. It's change because you start building wealth. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining my training tonight. I really, really want to appreciate you for your time. If you have any question, you can please drop it in the comment section. If you have any question, you can please drop it in the comment section so that we can quickly look into that before we go tonight. But once again, I want to appreciate everyone that's joined from different platforms tonight, from YouTube, from my IG, from Facebook, from LinkedIn. I really want to thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow we are not going to have a live session, but next week we're going to resume for medical professionals and business owners on how to build wealth. But next week we're going to have the same program. Until next week, my name remains Oludare Fasola. See you next week. Bye for now. Thank you so much.